Hey guys, it's Eric Blue Jay here. A new trailer for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie adaptation has just released. Let's take a look at it and break it all down. So let's get into this analysis video, but before we do, if you are new here, just consider leaving me a subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us on out into that YouTube algorithm. So here we go, we open up with Vanessa waking up from presumably a nightmare in her bed. And according to this trailer, it appears that there will be an underlying story revolving around Vanessa and how she copes with her dad. We then cut to Mike and Vanessa at a fancy restaurant as Mike asks her, "So, you want to tell me about your bad dreams?" We've seen this environment in the previous trailer, so nothing new here. We then cut to Vanessa as a kid seemingly running for her life, presumably in her own house. She runs towards the front door and shuts it. During this, Vanessa mentions it's always the same, implying when she has this very dream, it's always the same course of events. Mike then rejoins, "Your dad?" So yes, it appears that Vanessa's father, William Afton, has terrorized his daughter on multiple occasions, causing deep psychological trauma onto her, forcing her to dream these dreams. It looks like at one point in young Vanessa's nightmares, she's wandered into her father's home workshop, hiding in the closet in hopes to not be seen. From here, we get some interesting shots around the workshop. We get a shot of animatronic blue eyeballs, a bunch of medical scissors and tweezers, and an interesting concept drawing of one Freddy Fazbear. I've gotta say, the drawing style and all of these notes heavily remind me of the animatronic sketch notebooks that can be seen in Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. A couple of the notes can read, "Top hat, staple of any top performer. Ears to be spring-loaded, eyes to glow," and what's interesting is that this appears to be a version 3.0 of Freddy, so fairly early on. Behind these drawings appear to be a map layout, so I assume that this will be revealed as concept sketches to detail a further blueprint of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. From here we have Vanessa opening her closet door and reaching over to grab some sort of box. I'm almost wondering if this will be revealed as the infamous secretive box from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I honestly could see that though, especially putting in account the length. But whether this is that box or a random cardboard box, what is clear is what's inside that box. Because the scenes that come directly after Vanessa grabbing the box is of someone placing miscellaneous items around the house, ranging from a bag of marbles, a notebook, a mirror, and a toy airplane. If this is the infamous FNAF 4 box, would these be the articles belonging inside? In similar fashion, we see this person in a frenzy, shutting and locking all of the windows and for whatever reason, turning on the TV, but no picture is surfacing. During this panic, Mike advises, "We are never going to be able to move forward until you deal with some of the mess you left in your head," implying that William is still, like, haunting Vanessa's brain in some sense. By the front door, Vanessa implies, "My father was a monster. You know that." And from here, we get some creepy shots of William standing ominously in the kitchen. He turns to grab the kitchen knife on his left, which reflects very nicely with his alter ego when he dons the Spring Bonnie costume. The trailer shows us this as we get some more shots of Spring Bonnie grabbing a knife. We can also see Spring Bonnie skulking through this dark kitchen. It is unclear what kitchen this is, but I don't look at this like a residential kitchen. So I wonder if this is a look inside Fredbear's family diner, and we just don't know it yet. Our final scene with Spring Bonnie is one we've already seen in a previous trailer. You guys might recognize this with Spring Bonnie walking down a dark hallway with his knife. From here, we see some sort of photo book with several family photos of this little girl. Attached underneath is a note that reads, "Daddy, I am sorry you missed my birthday, but I really love my present. I miss our park." And it just cuts off there because the paper it's written on is folded. Now, this little girl is not Vanessa. For those of you who are wondering, her hair is most certainly not blonde. So, who is this, you may ask? Well, I think the scene that follows this will answer that question. We have Mike having a conversation with someone in his house. The man he is speaking with is likely Henry Emily, William's old business partner. Henry tells Mike, everyone called it an accident, but it wasn't until years later when those 5 children went missing. but I knew she was murdered by him. So yes, now where we are currently, after the death of William Afton, Henry feels free to speak what he knows about his wrongdoings. I wonder if this movie will detail some of the death minigames, like seeing William murder Henry's daughter Charlotte, the girl in the photo book. Okay, this looks very interesting. It appears that Henry didn't only bring his family photo book, but also these old newspapers around the opening of the pizzeria. Articles that detail Freddy Fazbear's grand opening and William Afton's early ambitions. What a happy guy. We get to see the scene of presumably Charlotte standing on a show stage in the toy location. She's holding a little boy who likely may be her younger brother, Sammy. Charlotte is screaming, having a meltdown, but what's interesting is that Charlotte actually lifelessly drops down to her knees, and her brother has disappeared, vanished. Likewise, both of them are wearing black and white striped shirts, definitely referencing the marionette. We then cut to our first look at Abby in this trailer. She and a friend are walking from a school bus that reads East Lake Middle School, going to school, so it appears that there might have been a time jump where Abby is a little older now, attending middle school. Abby's friend asks, "Are you ever going back?" To Freddy's, I mean. And it looks like we get an answer to that question because we see Abby biking to the once new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And judging by the previous trailer, we know the toy animatronics are in some degree trying to lure Abby towards the location. And at one point, Mike knows that and holds up a pamphlet to Freddy Fazbear's grand opening, located at 12525 Amazement Drive. What the hell? And it appears that Mike is in a hurry to get there to save his sister, as he is currently putting on a jacket to rush out the door, saying, "I think my sister is here." Abby enters the desolate pizzeria and notices the very show stage we saw Charlotte standing on, screaming. So that stage will be very significant from the looks of it. The show is on the road as we get some new looks at the animatronics. First off, we get Toy Chica in the dark, powering on, looking fairly angry. We cut to text that says, "On December 5. It is here where we have Mike and Vanessa inside the facility looking for Abby. Mike asks, "Where are you going to run to?" That question makes me think that Mike and Vanessa has already designed a plan, which involves Vanessa allowing herself to get chased as a distraction so Mike can swoop in, grab Abby, and escape. So these scenes do detail some interesting spottings. First off, we have the iconic carousel reimagined in cinematic format. And if we go back, we can notice Vanessa rubbing her wrist, implying that she's possibly injured her wrist, so she might not be able to use a pistol this time around. That's right, 0 doors and 0 firearms. And during the scene, we do hear Balloon Boy's iconic laugh. Look at these absolute banger shots of the old animatronics. Finally seeing them in motion is absolutely spectacular to see. This cuts to text that says, "A new set of rules," which I like how they mention that because the toy location does indeed play by a different set of rules, especially when it comes to the lack of doors and walls. Marionette makes an appearance here as Vanessa is investigating the music box. Above, in the hole in the roof, we can see creepy fingers emerging. Mike asks, "What do they want with my sister?" And I think we know, or at least can predict, that the toy animatronics know that Abby is the only one who can set them free, and they'll take her by force if they must, which definitely explains all of the home intrusions the toys are responsible for. And speaking of which, Toy Freddy right here is seen to sneak into Abby's room with glowing red eyes, accompanied faithfully with the text, "A new level of fear." We saw this scene in the previous trailer, but now we have some additional context. I believe that the toy animatronics are inside the house, and Mike, Abby, and Vanessa are just trying to escape the house. We're back at it again on the catwalk with a brand new shot of Toy Freddy's now iconic strut. During this, a woman narrates, "Half of this town will be dead by morning," as the woman who is presumably saying that is met by Toy Bonnie, who holds his knife atop of her, much like Toy Freddy with glowing red eyes. Our next scene details a new ability belonging to Toy Chica, that being flashlight eyes.
Shoot! The batteries are dead.
As we know, Toy Chica will be searching for Abby within East Lake Middle School as she hunts down this staff member. Here we see Balloon Boy emerging in a very similar fashion to JJ, which might detail that if JJ doesn't make an appearance in the film, then at least we have this Easter egg, right? From here we have a variety of attacks issued by the animatronics, like one of the teenagers opening up some curtains, and we all know that won't end well for him. We have old Chica marching down the hall with old Freddy behind her in the distance. This family from the previous trailer getting attacked. The mangle breaking through this woman's windshield, causing her to crash the vehicle. Nonetheless, she appears to be alright with a hurt head, but that is until the mangle breaks through more windows, reaching her head and arms inside the car to attack her. Man, this car scene is gonna look so cool in the movie. And with the logo flashing onto the screen, we hear the music box tune playing in the background, cutting to old Foxy attacking the night guard. Almost reminds me of the FNAF 2 trailer as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I was kinda hoping that they'd use the London Bridge is Falling Down song in one of the trailers, but seeing how this movie is literally 1 month away, this is likely going to be the final trailer, unless we get a release trailer closer to the release date. You know, the trailers that say, out now, and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy, and if you did, just consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, tell me what you thought. What are your thoughts on the trailer? And are you planning on going to theaters to see the movie? And if you'd like to see my top 10 facts video about Toy Freddy, click the video that you're currently seeing on your screen. Or maybe, if you'd rather see my reaction to the previous trailer, which if that's the case, click the other video that you're currently seeing on your screen.